All right, boys, welcome to today's trade recap. Today is March 13th, 2026. Happy Friday. It is Friday the 13th, so do some praying. Anyways, coming in this morning, I was leaning bullish, super bullish, because we had like these equal highs right here, these relative equal highs, whatever. But my main draw was this unfilled hourly with this high all the way up here. So I wanted to see a tap into one of these hourly gaps and then a long. And I told myself, I was like, damn, because we almost got this long right here. And as this was presenting, I was like, fuck, if we would have tapped into this hourly and inverted this, I would have took this, which is pretty funny because I didn't end up taking the actual better setup, which was this right here. We ended up tapping into an hourly, creating a V-shaped recovery. Fucking great Judas swing AMD model right here. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Now you guys might say, well, wouldn't this be manipulation back to the downside? Technically yes, but we didn't manipulate into anything, right? And even if this was manipulation, it would have been voided after we hit this hourly anyway. So we ended up getting an AMD model, right? Accumulation, manipulate down into an actual pig array, and then a inversion out of it. And some of you guys might be saying like you wanted to see this unfilled hourly get hit, and then which was also a unfilled 15-minute gap, which is perfectly fine. I was looking for the same thing. I had analysis paralysis this morning. I had too much shit marked out on my charts, and I should have, just looking back in hindsight, I should have fucking took this. But I overthought it. I hesitated, and ultimately by the time I made up my mind, price was already too high, so I just decided to set out of it. This is what my trade idea would have looked like. Break even at this crazy wick right here, or TP1, TP2 at this high up here, and then final TP all the way at the unfilled hourly. But whatever, that's a-okay. Now we're inside of an hourly gap, right? I want to see how price reacts. We ended up having this 5-minute for value gap right here, and I didn't want to take this because we had news at 10, and I'm actually trading half of my evaluations and then half of my funded accounts. And I know Alpha Futures has pretty strict rules when it comes to trading during news, so I didn't really want to risk being in a trade towards end because this was going to be my break-even point, and then my other targets were this shit up here. We had this crazy wick, which wasn't really necessarily a good target, but I like targeting big ass wicks like this. We had these 15-minute intermediate highs and the unfilled hourly as well, which none of these ended up getting hit, so they're pretty irrelevant. We can delete those. With that being said, we ended up creating a 5-minute gap and then got this bullish 1-minute for value gap. Now some of you guys probably took this. It wasn't a bad trade, just a little premium, but overall it is what it is. It's a nice pattern trade. Had a quick break-even point, although we did end up edging the break-even, which kind of sucks. ES didn't even take out that high either, which actually kind of hindered my next setup that I'm about to go over, which was this 5-minute inversion. So I was actually waiting for this 15-minute to open up, which we ended up getting it right here. And then when the 15-minute opened up, I had no problem longing this if we got good displacement through this 1-minute for value gap right here. And ultimately, we just did not end up getting that, and we kind of chopped around and then continued lower and lower. So at this point in time, I'm like, okay, let's look at the 5-minute. The 5-minute looks something like this. Boom, we got the 5-minute inversion right here. Now, like I said, I let the non-resweep kind of hinder my setup. I was like, fuck, we don't have an SMT there. Both assets didn't resweep it. There's relative go highs. So I actually got a later entry on this, and here it is. The 5-minute inversion happened right here, and I got like a 2 or 3 point later entry. But it is what it is. And then I ended up going break even when ES took out these equal lows. Fuck, where were the equal lows? They were somewhere over here. I think these were them right here. Hold on. Let's turn this on. Yeah, it was these 3 stacks of equal lows. So I ended up going break even when ES took that shit out, and price didn't end up flushing through, which is kind of unfortunate. I ended up getting stopped out at break even, and I accidentally went in with 1 mini on my like 30 something accounts. I think I'm up to 34 now. And it was just so much fucking risk, and it would have been nice if I hit the trade, but it would have been a break-even trade regardless. So that's kind of fucked with my psychology a little bit, because I did go break-even because of how much I was risking, but it is what it is. And then we ended up creating this 15-minute gap. Now I was about to get off the charts and actually go eat breakfast. I'm on the boat right now, headed back to Miami, and we ended up creating this 15-minute gap. I was like, cool, if we're literally just chopping around. If we can get a manipulation higher into this gap and then an inversion out of it, I'll go ahead and enter this. And look what ended up happening. We ended up creating 2 1-minute for value gaps right here. And look at this bullshit. I would have got a so much better entry if we fucking inversed it with this candle up here. We edged it by maybe a ball sack here, and then we ended up getting this absolute Drake candle on the way down. So I entered like halfway when this Drake candle was fucking going. I didn't wait to the close because obviously it's gonna fucking close. And I had a feeling that the next candle was either gonna do one of 2 scenarios. It was either gonna rip through our break-even point, so I was gonna have a quick break-even point, or it was gonna do some bullshit and fucking retrace. And actually it did end up retracing. Thankfully I got a slightly better fill on here than I did on my top step, and I actually almost got stopped out. because my top step, what's it called? Stop loss was like set to largest, like right here, but it is what it is. Here it is right here. I kind of got just under a 1-to-1, and then we ended up continuing down. As soon as we hit this internal low right here, I went break even. And then yes, we ended up taking out these profits right here. Now we also had what was it? I think it was an unfilled 30-minute gap. Holy shit, we are shitting the bed right now. But there was these 15-minute intermediate lows, which was also, I think, an unfilled 30-minute gap that I could have held to, but I mean, it was Friday. I already missed one setup. I just wanted to secure profits for the day, just end the week good. And yeah, like I said, if I would have held, I would have passed all my evaluations, but it is what it is. And then yeah, we're continuing to shit the bed right now. And that was really the only setups I seen today. There's 1 minute long, damn near right at open at 9:37. There's 1 minute long that ended up failing at 9:53. The 5-minute inversion that happened that I got break even on, and then this 1 minute short that ended up playing out and ended up winning today. So yeah, that being said, leave any questions, comments, concerns in the comments section. If you guys enjoyed the trade recap, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscription if you guys would like. But yeah, money off everything, 101 mentorship down below, free Discord down below, loose trade 50% off, 40% off, 30% off, depending on which tier you're at. That's going to be down below as well. And then it is the last day for the select account, 25% off. So go use my code for that if you guys want, you can use anyone's fucking code. It doesn't really matter. But links in the description for everything, and I will catch y'all boys on Monday.